Hi, I'm Jenny Brew from Nomadic Hero. Today I will be looking at article spinning. It's one of those topics where there are a lot of conflicting views and comments. Weird thing is, there are also many article spinning, article rewriting products being promoted. Are these products in their death throes? Or are they catering for a specialised group of marketers? So if you're like me and wondering what this article spinning is all about, and whether there is some way that it could help you in your online business, please stay on and watch the video. Now, talking about your online business, if you need some help, then see the link in the description below this video. There's free training and you might find valuable. Last, if you haven't been to this channel before, please subscribe, ring the bell for future updates, and give me a thumbs up. Okay, let's go. The areas I'm going to cover include what is article spinning or article rewriting, how does it work, and does it really work, who uses it and why do they use it, and is article spinning really legal? What is article spinning? You start with a source article. Now that article may be yours or somebody else's. It's a method to create lots of unique content from that article, and if you do it right, you can avoid duplicate content problems with your link building. Basically, a spun article just says the same thing, but differently. So you can derive multiple versions of an existing text. Now you might ask yourself, why would you want to do that in the first place? Spinning creates what appears to be new content from what already exists. So you get new for old. And it works by replacing specific words, phrases, sentences, or even entire paragraphs with any number of alternate versions to provide a slightly different variation with each spin. Now this process can be completely automated or written manually as many times as needed. The automated ones, content, often results in articles that don't make any sense and are impossible to read. And these are the one-click automated spinners, and they certainly aren't recommended because you just create garbage. Historically, article spinners were used in low-quality sites, strictly created for SEO purposes, while keeping the article writing costs as low as possible. But I think you'll still find, even today, there will be elements of article spinners, the one-click automatic ones, that will continue to be used. So what the historic spinners did was create readable text, but that was low on their priority. So the whole purpose of doing this was to create this linking network to boost the ranking or the SEO of the main money site, and they'd build lots and lots of links and try and create content, this low quality content, in a number of sites that sat in around the main money site. There was no focus on quality content, as would be obvious, and the content would only be unique only to the extent it's good enough to pass automated search engine plagiarism checks, things like Copyscape. What I have here is a free article spinner that I found online, and I've picked up some PLR, as we all do, have pieces of PLR on our computers, and I found this one about insomnia and the various natural ways in which you can treat insomnia. So anyway, I dropped this article in here on the left hand side, my input text, click the button to say okay, let's spin the text, which I did, and the output text was on the other side. Now you'll notice I said don't change the word insomnia because I didn't want to lose the substance of what I was doing. Right here. So this is what came back, and this is one of the ones that you look at these free article spinners that do one click, and you really don't get anything that's very sensible coming out. And the bottom line is you've got to spend a lot of time going back and correcting it all. So it'd make you wonder whether it's just worthwhile doing in the first place. But I wasn't going to go through the whole thing, but if I look at this third paragraph, one of these helpful plants is the lemon balm plant. If you look closely at the leaves, you'll see how they resemble the leaves, I think that should be of the mint plant. This is because lemon balm is the same family of plants as the mint, and it can be taken as a tea. Now, the new version of this, one of these accommodating plants that's helpful, is the lemon emollient plant. I think emollient is balm. On the off chance that you take a gander, and that's if you look closely at the leaves, you'll perceive how they take after the plants of the mint plant, and that's, you'll see how they resemble the leaves of the mint plant. This is on the grounds that lemon demulcent is in similar group of plants as the mint. It tends to be taken as a tea. Anyway, you get the idea. This is what you get when you do a quick spin on a free spinner that's offered online, and you can play with this yourself and you'll find you'll get exactly the same thing. So the bottom line is it takes a lot of time to correct. Do these article spinners work? Yes, the answer is they do still work, but they should not replace a manual handwritten article and should not be overused. They do have their place, but you need to know what that place is, and you need to put in time and effort into creating a high quality spin that would be reasonable to pass human moderation. Yes, you can do spins that will pass Copyscape and they won't get picked up as duplicate content, but the reality is that people actually read these things and they need to pass the human test as well, and this is where a lot of them may fall over. Now, what groups of people may use spinning and what do they use it for? Daily content creation demands. Bloggers and commercial sites will use this, and they'll use it for ranking in Google. Article spinning techniques have improved, which is a good thing, and can now result in perfectly readable articles which appear original. Now, the aim is to avoid plagiarism and the rewritten article to pass Copyscape's requirements. Okay, so who is doing this? If we've got people who are blogging day in, day out, they need to have content on the ready at all times. They may in fact use the higher level, the higher quality spinning to create articles, but at the end of the day there's still articles which are based on the same amount of information but rearranged and made to look quite different. So there will still be people who are even just getting their blogs off the ground may be using some of this. You'd question whether the value was there for the user in producing this sort of information, and it probably also depends on just whereabouts in the market you are, and I'll turn to that in a second. A lot of time people will do this is because there is a cost element here. It is cheaper to spin content than to hire writers. And freelancers may spin their own work for resale to a number of buyers, and they can pass the plagiarism tests as well. So really it just depends on that overlay of the human moderation over the top of the quality of these articles. But certainly people will spin their own articles, so the issue of who owns the article doesn't come into it if they've actually started with their own and they create a number of versions of their own article to sell to different buyers. Now, I've also seen spinning used in the creation of landing pages or pre-sale pages in affiliate marketing, because many vendors will provide sales material for affiliates, and the use of article spinning can generate content that appears unique to the casual buyer. Now, I say the word casual buyer because usually you'll have different people looking at landing pages from time to time. The same person won't be revisiting the landing pages. It just makes the affiliate marketer look like they're producing different content. For example, if they're using ClickBank information, if they change out the images and change and spin some of the text that are in the landing pages, then it does look quite different. And this information can also be used in producing ads as well. So this is the marketing aspect that can use spinning to help their case. Now, I have also seen it used just in terms of personalising messages, and also chatbots can use it to some extent as well, because the whole issue of user value and stuff is diminished in the situation where marketing is occurring. So you'll find that spinning can be used. Now, when I started this video, I mentioned there were a number of players in the market. This is one of the better ones, called WordAi. It is probably one of the most expensive ones too, but it's worthwhile just having a look at how these work compared to the cheapest chips free ones that we've already had a quick look at. Now, for this particular one, you can actually get a 3-day trial, but that's all. So I'm on day 2 now, and I need to just make sure that I cancel this account at the end, because this is quite expensive. Okay, so WordAi, you click here to rewrite your articles. I'll just take you for a quick look through it. They do have an affiliate program in case you want to come back and have a look for yourself. There is a spinner, and the interesting thing about the spinner is that it does do foreign languages as well. It does Spanish, French and Italian as well. The standard one is the Turing spinner, and this is where it starts working. So what I will do is use the same article that I used previously. When you spin this, first off, you get what's called spin tax, and I will spin this article, the same one that we saw before. Spin now. Just before I do that, just take a note here. It's talking about the spinning quality has been set at readable, so you can actually set it at different levels. Okay, now you can see what spin tax looks like. This is telling me it's got a uniqueness factor of 89%. That's quite high. And remember, the aim of the game is to have a unique product that is able to be read by a human. So spin tax looks like this. You can see the words that they change out. You get the synonyms being changed. So instead of doctors or physicians, so we've got the 2 words there. Recommend that you get. Okay, and you can see there's curly brackets through here, so it can change out paragraphs. So that's the change out between that paragraph and the next one. So you can go through this thing and change it as it goes through, and it will change, as I said, paragraphs, sentences, words, phrases, and all that sort of stuff. So if I go in here and I just click on doctors, the one I want to use, if I say I just don't want physicians being used, I can cross that out and just leave it like that and go on to the next one, you see, and you can see it's corrected it in here. So you can in fact override some of the stuff that's in here as well. So that's your spin tax. It then gives you a reworked version here, and then another one. So I think you get 4 different versions when it does the spin, and you can also copyscape it at the same place. It's not going to work for me because you've got to link it into copyscape to be able to do it, and I haven't done that yet. We can ratchet this up a bit. So if I ratchet it, here we go. If I want to ratchet that up to being unique or even very unique and spin it again, my spin tax comes back, which I can go through. Well, you can see there's lots and lots of extra things being put in there now. And this is the rewritten version here. And I haven't told it not to use the word insomnia in this one, but this health practitioners advise that you get amongst 6 or 8 hours of rest evenings, and it still doesn't work. That really is exactly what's ideal for the human physique. Whenever you've got insomnia, it can really have a toll for your personal. Anyway, so that sounds a lot better. That's telling me that that's a very unique one, and it could well be. It's not quite 100% moderated as far as I'm concerned. I would probably do a few little more changes to it, but it actually is a lot better than the free versions. And I think what you'll find is people will say, if you're even considering using spinning, that you should make sure that you get a paid version and get a good quality one. And this one is one of the very best quality ones that you can get, and you can go through and read them, and they're actually much better to use, and you get a lot of different sort of variations here on what you can and can't do and so forth. Just giving you a quick squiz through the website. No, I'm not an affiliate for this one, I'm just curious to have a look at it. So just a couple more words on WordAi. It automatically creates human quality content, and it uses artificial intelligence to understand text and is able to automatically rewrite your article with the same readability as a human writer. Now it's useful, if you're interested, to come back to this website and have a look at some of the examples on this page, and there's more explanation here that I really don't have time to go into today, but certainly it is the next step up on some of the content rewriters that are available out there. There are examples of spun content as well here, so there's spun articles and different samples of 5 different ones, I believe. Article spinning is not explicitly illegal, but many online viewers would view it as unethical, and the reason for that is using other people's content is regarded as paraphrasing copyrighted material. If you're using your own content, of course, that is a completely different matter. But at the end of the day, it does not provide value to the end user and basically deceives people into wasting their time. A quote, "A haystack of low-quality blog networks and article repositories," is one person's view of article spinning. Before I finish off this video, I want to draw your attention to this particular article by Matthew Woodward. It's called "The Best Spinner," and it goes through the process of spinning. This is a person who knows and has a lot of knowledge about doing this, and is obviously not a beginner, but he claims that using the best spinner is highly effective, and it goes way beyond the scope of this video. But if you're interested, you should come back here. I will put the link in the description below this video, and please go through and have a look, because not only are they replacing phrases and so everything we've talked about, it actually goes drilling down into changing the formatting, changing the bullets, changing anchor texts, images, videos, and so forth. So it really does build up a large list of items that get changed as far as the spinning is concerned. For a beginner, article spinning really doesn't make a lot of sense. You need to know what you're doing. The content is unlikely to offer any value to a person reading, and setting up a paid spinner with the correct settings is complicated and tedious. Google is fairly advanced now as far as AI learning and understanding is, so they can usually tell if content is written in a manipulative way. Content spinning is primarily sold as a fast and easy option to blogging and SEO, but without a deep understanding, you really can't make this work. And I'm talking about beginners when I'm making this comment. Please go and have a look at the URL that I will leave under the video here, and you can go and refer back to that Matthew Woodward article. Well, that's the end of this video. I hope you found something in there that is useful for you. If you haven't been to this channel before, please subscribe, ring the bell, and give me a like. That's a thumbs up. Now, if you are a beginner trying to set up an online business, or just struggling with the business of setting up an online business, have a look at the link in the description below, and there is some free training there that you will find very useful. So I'd encourage you to go and take a look at that. And thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.